Hello everyone, this is TNT King here, and today we're going to be doing something a bit different. We're going to be talking. Sorry if the mic is a bit close. This is sort of like a podcast, while at the same time, sort of just like a chat. This ain't a live stream. This is just me bonding with you. So, when I grow up, I want to be a scientist, a astrophysicist. You know, the type of people that go and talk about space. You know what I'm saying? So I thought I might as well share some of my scientific facts and things to you. So that way, if there are any other people inspired to be a scientist like me, they can become one by learning. So without further ado, let's get into it with our first bit of this video. Space. We all know it. It's the thing beyond the sky, the thing that we see beyond the surprisingly rainy day, even though earlier it was rather sunny. Anyways, but yeah, we've all dreamt of being an astronaut, going to the International Space Station, landing on the moon. But what is actually out there in space? And are there things to be afraid of in space? Well, I'm your host, Hayden, aka the one and only TNT King. That's me. Will be guiding you on this adventure to the beyond. This may look like just a little glass bulb. You may see some things. We just get this. This is a glass diagram of our beloved solar system. You can even see the planets too. We've got the sun, Earth, and many of our favourite planets and stars and moons and other things. But what is beyond this little orb other than my room? What is beyond the Milky Way and the solar system? I will be the one to tell you. But first, we must learn the origins of our beloved solar system. How life came to be. How Earth came to be. How we came to be. Which will be talked about in a separate video about evolution. But in the meantime, let's begin. We just need to rewind about I don't know, an unspecifiable billions of years ago. There was no space, but rather a void. But in that void existed one thing, a tiny yet powerful bundle of energy. Then, one dark and fateful day, boom! An explosion that we now refer to as a supernova occurred. And on that fateful day, whatever it was, July, St. Patrick's Day, Christmas, no, nobody knows actually, life and energy was born. The resulting explosion created the elements of the periodic table, including, but not limited to, gold, iron, copper, gallium, and many others. Because of that explosion, we now exist. But we're not going to talk about the explosion, we're going to talk about the effect of the explosion, the shockwave. For those of you who don't know what a shockwave is a shockwave is basically where an explosion is so powerful that it makes a visible, will sometimes ring around the area. Some people may have seen this in movies, like the Book of Boba Fett with his seismic charge. This was known as the expansion. The expansion was basically when all the energy that was released pushed open and inflated our universe like a balloon. Because of this explosion, things started to grow bigger and bigger and bigger, and matter started being created. A few billions of years later, we got stars. A few more billions of years later, we got planets. A few more billion years later, we had a universe. After the expansion, because of the elements that were created, new life started to occur. First bits of life was energy. Now there was more life. Evolution occurred, and that's when we got us. But again, we will not be talking about evolution. We'll be talking about space. Now, beyond our solar system, there is the Milky Way, a giant cluster of stars, gases, asteroids, and many other things, along with other planets. In the center of this thing is in the center of the Milky Way is a black hole. A black hole occurs where a star goes nova, pretty much exploding by imploding in itself, like a submarine if it went too deep. I'm not referring to the Titan, by the way. I'm referring to in general. Still a sad event. They should have known better than to use a PlayStation controller. I don't know why they did that. But, anyways, where was I? As it implodes on itself, the gravity creates a sort of hole with a gravity density so powerful and so big. I'll try and explain this in the best way I can because I have bad memory. It bends time and light around it. For instance, if you went in the largest black hole, since nobody knows what would happen, chances are time itself would go slower. For you, it'll be a mere 10 seconds. But for others, it could be 10 decades, 100 years, or even numerous millennia and centuries to come. Now, the question is that should we be afraid of space? That's a question that many people ask, and I'm going to try and answer. The answer is, let me just grab my my reference paper. Oh, we don't know. See, here's the thing. Nobody has ever bothered or even wanted to check what happens if we go into a black hole. Many people think that we'll be spaghettified, where we are sort of pulled and just ignoring what happened there. Pulled and stretched to the point where we become spaghetti before we're ultimately ripped apart. Other people believe that we're just sucked in and we're ejected out of a white hole. The opposite of what a black hole does. A black hole takes in light. Not even light can escape it. While a white hole pushes it out. But again, we do not know what happens. We see sometimes planets and star systems being destroyed by black holes. But again, we do not have a clue what will happen if a measly human being, which to a black hole would be, their equivalent of a Lego brick. Yes, we're that small. We're pretty much the same as an atom if we think about it. I got off track. What would happen if we went into a black hole? That's why some people are actually afraid of space. Because we do not know what's beyond there. We sort of gotten used to home. We're like babies. We're like the babies of the universe. We've gotten used to home. However, we're getting older. Science is evolving. We are evolving. We are wondering what's outside the house. What could be out there, and if we should be afraid or not. Sure, there are some beauties of space, like nebulas and of course eclipses. But we do not know. Other things that people suggest is that there are alien life. And just like with the black hole, we do not know what's out there. There could be anything. There could be little Martians that live on Mars that use camouflage or underground places. There could be xenomorphs that punch a hole through a creature's skull with an inner mouth. There could be predators that hunt on other species for sport. There could be little grey humanoids with massive bulbous heads with big black eyes and a straight expression and a body shape that looks like they really need a sandwich. We just don't know. And quite frankly, some people do not even want to know. Some people believe that things that fly over the sky are flying saucers. And of course, the theory of Area 51, which is said to have an underground research facility that no one wants to talk about. It's because some people are afraid of what people will do if they discover that people have been lying to them, which will be a part of a different podcast maybe later. I do not know. But back to the matter at hand. However, there is some clues that can suggest life out there. Number one is UFOs, unidentified flying objects and flying saucers. Also, for the sake of science terms, we will not be referring to as aliens as well. Aliens, we'll be referring to them as ETs, extraterrestrials. As alien could also mean someone from a different country. For instance, if nobody knew what India was, and an Indian man came to Britain, people might think that he's alien. They'll consider him alien because they've never seen him before. So we'll just be referring to him as ETs. We do not know if there are ETs out there, or extraterrestrials, not to be confused with the little lovable alien with the glowing finger. Very emotional movie, by the way. But either way, we just don't have, as of now, the technology. However, with the rapid expansion of science, we might see extraterrestrial life soon, and even interstellar travel, since that has already been accomplished. But we could also see light travel. However, again, we have not confirmed if this is possible. But I can tell you this. A few years ago, NASA sent out two probes named Voyager 1 and Voyager 2. On both of these Voyagers, or one of them, there was a golden disc. There was also another satellite with a golden plaque. On this golden disc, it played the sounds of the Earth. If aliens discovered it, or ETs discovered it, and played it using their technology, if they aren't as perplexed about ours, they will hear businessmen greeting each other, children playing, music going, people dancing and having a whirl of a time. They'll also hear war, most likely, anger, which could lead to interstellar war. However, we are not going to be doing any Mars attacks reference says here, so I won't go on about that. And on the plaque, it showed a diagram of a human, of a man and a woman, as well as the alignment of our solar system and the way how the stars and the planets look around the sun, and finally a little map of where it was found and where it came from, so that way aliens would know about our world. But here's another question. Should we trust ETs? ETs are a lot like us in a way. If they suddenly just discovered a device that's basically saying, welcome invitation, welcome to Earth, please make yourselves comfortable, they might see this as an act of war. And that's another reason why people are afraid of space, but not the penultimate reason. We'll get to that later. We do not know if they will even accept us as a species, or will they just, try to annihilate us? Heck, some ETs might be the enders of universes. Perhaps the reason why we don't see many ETs is because some of them have been wiped out by others. Intergalactic civil war, pretty much. Pretty much World War space. But we do not know, and we'll probably won't know for the next few hundred decades. That's why I want to become a scientist, so I can shorten that few hundred decades to a few 10 years. Or die trying. Either way, we do not know. But the penultimate reason is why people are afraid of space is simple. The fear of the unknown. Space is like the ocean. We have only discovered 10% of that. Try to crank that up to a whole universe, which is like 60 gajillion times the solar system. In fact, sizzly regillion, I'll just make that up, regillion times bigger than the universe, than the Milky Way. And we do not know what would happen if we just floated there. We do not know if we'll come across any black holes, any white holes, any Einstein's Rosen bridges, aka wormholes, a point where Einstein's theory of relativity state that if the universe is curved like this, then a hole can be created through those, like a piece of paper, like this, like a pencil through a piece of paper, creating a gateway. But we have no way of finding that out, because we need to find that out, and again, people are afraid to find out. But that's all the info that I can remember, think of, theorise and muster up for today. Be sure to like and subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can be notified on when my next TNT's Theories of Science, this is what this series is going to be called, comes out, where next time we'll be continuing our search through space, as well as delving into one of life's greatest mysteries, evolution. And make sure to comment on your thoughts, theories and opinions of what I've said, what you would say, and what you believe in. This is TNT King signing off on this video.